So if you're someone who is starting today, the internet will drown you in a lot of checklists. Learn MERN stack, do DSA, build a portfolio website. And yet after months, you will see not really progresses that can be shown to the world. You might feel tech being boring and eventually might not want to go down this path. But tech actually is very interesting if you approach it with the right builder attitude. I don't really believe in learn first, solve then kind of an attitude. Instead, most real engineers flip it. They pick a problem and then learn whatever is required to solve that. That's in fact how I started on my journey in this builder world, building multiple different projects in my initial years, which actually made me go towards tech in totality. In the next few minutes, I'll show you a very simple system that you can follow to stop drowning in this tutorial hell and start shipping solutions early on, even if it's like 20-30 lines of code. Hi everyone, my name is Vivek Gupta and I am an ex-Google engineer, former ICPC World Finalist, and I have been teaching students at AlgoZenith for cracking top tech companies for a very long time now. What I've learned in my journey is that long-term growth will always belong to builders and problem solvers. And in this video, we will talk about how to break from learn forever, ship nothing kind of an attitude. Without any delay, let's just get started. In today's time, whenever somebody starts in the realm of tech, they hear learn MERN stack, learn DSA, learn system design, learn cloud engineering, learn crypto, blockchain, Web3, all these kind of words. And it all sounds very productive, no? It feels like, oh, if I'll just complete this, I'll get a job. But in my opinion, you are not truly an engineer unless you are shipping something. When you are even starting out in tech, right, your attitude should not be to learn and then solve. Instead, pick a problem and learn to solve it. Start small so that you can ship easily. Understand that learning isn't like collecting buzzwords that are going on in the market, right? It can be a simple 15-line script that makes an automation about going about your keyboard strokes that you do repeatedly to get a task done, or a simple website that automates something useful for your father or their business, or a simple browser extension that helps a lot of your friends. Anybody who behaves like this, who solves problems, I just call them builders, and I believe shipping is the attitude that will make you one. And if you are a builder, you will rule the future. Anyways, in this AI world, now we have agents that can build smaller softwares to solve problems. You need to be good at identifying problems and understand what exactly to use to solve it, and the rest of the coding part will be handled by AI agents. In fact, I'm not really sharing these things to just tell you to do these things. I in fact learned the things in this same order myself. I started actually building small scripts, small tools that helped me in my journey. I'll share that. In my first year, I remember that there was to be Tatkal ticket booking on the IRCTC website, and I had tried on one particular day and had failed because that day at I think it happens 11 o'clock right now, but earlier it used to happen 9 o'clock, and I could not get it in the first 5 minutes and the ticket went off because I made a small mistake while typing the form, and then I had to go back, and then during that time the websites become slow and I was not able to book a ticket for my parents who were coming back from my bua's house back to my place. So that is when it struck me that, hey, this is something that should be automated and I should not need to type and fill things in a way that it is possible to make a mistake. Or if the site is slow, what if I just make a mistake in between, right? So it's a high pressure, time sensitive scenario, and I just built a very, very small script. I built a script which basically opens the IRCTC website in Selenium, automatically fills the login page, goes to the login, then fills out the pages for the Tatkal ticket for the train that I was looking for, which I can hard code previously, and then book the ticket. I only had to give the OTP for the final payment. All the steps before it was automatically automated by that script. This was actually one of my early projects that I had built. Of course, I have not published it anywhere and I don't think it's like such a big script to write. But then again, the attitude that I built while building it was something that I carried forward for a long time thereafter. Anytime I needed to automate a boring stuff, I just quickly pulled out these kind of scripts and wrote it to make sure that things are automated and I'm not really doing the grunt work. In my second year, I was part of data analytics team in my college inter-hostel competition. And in that team also, since I had already experience with Selenium and basic data analytics, I was able to scrape a lot of data and build the data set for them. In fact, all these projects I don't have with me anymore, but the next one I have the project and I'll show you the screen sharing of this. So I remember that my father has been doing share market for a very long time, and we used to think about different strategies, screeners, and how to actually fetch the data and see the stocks quickly, look at which stocks are touching the Bollinger Bands and like when the crossover is happening, and every day if there is some update, if some new stock is coming into the tracking list, how do you look at those stocks specifically. So I just quickly built a Python script which did all of these things and hosted it on Python Anywhere. So if you see there on the screen, there is this basic run.sh script, and you can basically I had written these basic scripts which find all the stocks which are following the Minervini like screener conditions, and like getting their charts and putting that data in a place, getting their fundamental data from another site. Like it's just basically navigating to different sites, waiting for that data to load and grab the data and save it for me, right? Fetching like 1 year data from the charts and then saving it in particular place, and then basically building a small like sheet which has like the chart and the new stocks that has been added in the screener, and some of them are what we can possibly look at and look for trading in the next days, and then basically mailing this to me and my father personally, right? This is something I just basically built very quickly to help us in the process. During one of my internships, I also learned about basic stuff about Chrome extension, and I felt that since I knew only basic backend, Chrome extensions are the best way in which you can possibly build tools for many people to use. In fact, if you are looking to learn Chrome extensions, I'll just link a course below which you can watch, and you will be able to learn everything required to build Chrome extensions. I genuinely feel being able to make Chrome extensions is like a superpower for you. Very recently, I was playing this AQW or Adventure Quest Worlds game. This is an MMORPG game, and here the mechanics is that you have to beat monsters, and you have characters, different classes, and they have moves. Use the different combos to hit the opponent, and sometimes the opponents are high HP, and you have to repeatedly use a lot of similar kind of moves, and you know the combos that you want to do again and again. But if you just keep doing that multiple times, suppose you have to get the drop from the monster for multiple times, and it's fairly boring. So I just made a quick script which can control the keyboard and just do the combos from the keys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just made a basic class which has cooldown times for each of the skills, and let's suppose we are using Chrono Shadow Hunter right now. So this is the Chrono Shadow Hunter's class, and there are different combos that I've pre-coded over there, and I can use one of the combos that I want to use for this particular game. I'll just enable that class, use the high heal one, and just run it, right? I'll just quickly run this particular file, and we will get the output. Like the Python code will keep simulating the keystrokes, like say reload, heal, attack, and then this kind of keystrokes it will keep simulating, right? So this is one of the things that I had built, and now if you see, okay, let me just quickly fix this out. This should be Python 3. So it just basically starts in 3 minutes, and then it automates the keystrokes for me. So now I'm not really typing on the keyboard, and you can really see that the moves are automatically happening, right? And I don't need to press anything. It will just press this particular move with that combo, and this just saves times for me. This is a game that I used to play very old, and it's just nostalgia for me at this point in time, right? Sometimes I just let this run on my second laptop beside me, and then I just do my work. So these are some of the small ways in which I have used these automations and have built things for me that helps me. And to be very honest, because I have this builder attitude, I think I often automate things in my life. This is what you should start with, because this will give you the sense of completeness, achievement, and actually solving something, and not just building something out of tutorial which you are not going to use anyways. So Vivek, how to start about all these things? I have a very good resource for you, a great book, Automate the Boring Stuff. If you are absolute beginner, if you don't know even Python and all, you can start with this book. It teaches you the basics and gives you a lot of different common tools that you can use, like automating the sheets, web scraping, IO, controlling, all these things from Python. It shows you the common techniques that you can possibly use, and then you can use them in the problems that you are solving. Whenever you feel like you need to do data collection from websites, say you want to build a data set of all lead code problems and their solutions scraped from the internet in a local place, and then maybe you want to fine-tune some data, some machine learning model, or you want to build a search on top of it. This is one of the projects that we teach in AlgoZenith. You can do these things using the scraping techniques that you will learn. And please learn Chrome extension. Again, I'll give you the link. You can see this course on the website, and it's freely available. You can complete it and you'll learn Chrome extensions. Believe me, it's the biggest leverage somebody can have who is a backend engineer, because you can quickly build a Chrome extension that connects to your backend and a minimal UI that will solve the purpose for many different use cases. Sometimes you want to tweak a certain website where you want to get a button which will do a specific action on the website. You will be able to add these things. And sometimes when you have some hobby things that you want to do, like playing games, and you are getting bored with a certain game mechanics which you want to repeat again and again, generally when you go to end game, there are quests in like most RPG games which are fairly tedious and boring. If you want, you can automate those stuff if you really have these skills with you. Even after learning all these things, if you think that Vivek, I still don't know enough, you will never know enough, right? People tell me that Vivek, I don't feel ready, and I just tell them that ready is not a feeling to feel, it's actually a decision to make. So the day you decide, you can start with learning these small skills, and whenever you get small problems, try to automate them. You don't need to look at this as like projects that you will add in your resume, but even if one of them, like the IRCTC Tatkal ticket booking script, I think these small scripts you guys can add on your resume at the initial first year, second year stage, and you can write the performance metrics very easily because these are highly impactful projects. You will be able to write that it brought down time from this to this. You have automated the weekly project for these things. And in my opinion, I love seeing such projects in second year students when I'm looking for internships, because this just shows agency and the nature of solving real problems instead of seeing some month stack project which you will see on YouTube. I mean, God knows what's the value of that. Sometimes in projects, it's why did you make it is the key question, and if you're not able to answer that, often there'll be no value to your project. Okay, I hope you got the idea. I fundamentally believe that future of the tech world will be ruled by two types of people, builders and problem solvers. And you need to build the skills for both. So being builder, you have to learn these small things at the start, and then only you will be able to learn harder stuff like full stack development and then solve problems that you might need for that. Maybe for your father's shop, you want to build a software that does all of it. So start with one problem, one pain point, fix it with a script, fix it with the basic software, and let others use your software. Believe me, the fun you will get out of it is immense, and you will absolutely be hooked on to tech world. That's all in this particular video. If this video helped you, make sure to subscribe to get more such videos as well as problem solving discussion videos on my channel. If you have a problem statement in your mind that you want to solve, write that down in the comments and I'll let you know if that's a really good idea. And it will just build a collection of what different things people are solving with their skills, something that you might have solved in past as well. And share it with one of your friends who is stuck in those tutorials and be like, oh, I'll just build this but has no value. Maybe you guys can together build something. That will be all from my side in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.